Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video, playing Doomsday, and today I am playing a bug turbo list that I sort of dreamed up today, and I'm really excited to try it for a couple of different reasons. So, let's talk about the list for a bit. So why bug? Well, primarily because of what Veil of Summer and Carpet of Flowers offer, as well as the one sideboard Boseiju as a sort of surgical tool to combat dress down and or leyline binding out of control decks. I'll get back to what that is about, and especially the leyline binding may or may not be sort of self-evident. So, I've decided to tinker a little bit with the Dimir Turbo list that I played a couple weeks ago. I've added the Veils, as you can see. I've made the choice to cut a Thoughtseize. I have added a second Consider and a Deep Analysis. So this list wants to go fast, like really fast. I feel like there aren't that many sort of crop rotations, Elvish Reclaimers like floating around right now in main decks. That's just based on like my last couple of weeks of playing on Magic Online leagues. I feel like with both sort of goblins and initiative and the Riskaminator deck sort of rising in prominence, I feel like the format has kind of sped up, and I'm kind of into trying to win from like low resources and sort of faster. So I'm giving the old deep analysis a try. There's a reason why this sort of fell out of favor, and I might end up not liking it, but we'll see. I've also cut like a Cabal ritual. I feel like I had two Cabal rituals with the four dark rituals and four petals. It's a lot of fast mana, so I've made one cut there. I've gone from 4 to 3 personal tutors. Now, first of all, I'm not the biggest fan of personal tutor, but I do recognize the sort of the role it fills out here in trying to assemble Doomsday or rather just put Doomsday on the sack as quickly as possible. However, it's not very good in multiples, and it is card negative. And I thought that by adding a consider, and the second consider I've added because of deep analysis, like deep analysis is better the more considers you have access to. And that is because, like, with a consider in hand, you just need 1 blue mana. So if you have consider plus blank, then it's the same as brainstorm plus blank. If you have deep analysis in the deck, and you resolve Doomsday because you just make deep analysis the top card and LAD the second from top, and then you need to yeah. So hang on a second. It's been a while since I cast deep analysis. Yeah. Then you just need you'll draw 2 cards. One of them is Thassa. The other one is going to be a cycler. You will have 1 blue floating, and so you can cycle into like a petal. But yeah, and if you have only 1 card in hand and it's either a cycler or consider, then deep analysis also enables the same turn win. Whereas without deep analysis, that's not possible. So, and then there is a number of reasons why this card is not amazing. But yeah, I was talking about cutting for the 4th personal tutor. So with a second consider and with the inclusion of Undercity Sewers, I feel like we're upping the amount of card selection in the deck, and it's not a one-to-one comparison to a personal tutor, of course. Personal tutor just gets you Doomsday at the cost of a card, but it does help search for Doomsday and other cards you might need at an increased rate. So I feel pretty okay trying this out. All right, so one thing, and that is the Undercity Sewers I just mentioned. I did cut the 4th Underground Sea to make room for this. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze here. I don't know if this deck needs the Surveil enough of the time to make up for the amount of time where you open a 7 card hand with this as your only mana source, or you draw it for your second turn or something, and where if it had just been Underground Sea, you're good to go. So that remains to be seen. We are a very fast list, so that speaks against, I think, including this. But we are also not like a glass cannon, like turn one, do you have force deck. So we do sometimes want to play more turns, and then if you haven't played with these cards, the Surveil lands, I encourage you to do so. I'm playing them in all sorts of different decks now. They're really good. It's a really, really neat addition to the format. Okay, so another thing I want to touch on was the sideboard, which I'm really, really pleased with. So I decided that I wanted to try the White Leyline to battle Riskaminator. White Leyline, incidentally, also is good versus Painter, which is another deck that I think Turbo Doomsday has a little bit of a hard time against. So the 4 Leylines can come in there. It's good versus, I guess, Burn. That's not really, I think, an argument, but it does have like random applications, like it stops endurance. Not sure I would bring him in versus endurance, but maybe. But primarily it's because these in combination with Veil, I think, hopefully will like make life easier versus the Scam deck. I think I would also bring these in versus maybe Dredge, because a part of what makes Dredge tick against you is the Cabal therapies, and the second part is Cephalic Coliseum, and both get shut down, both target you. So I then thought, okay, so against Tempo, I kind of want Carpet and I want the Ley Lines. These 3 cards, the Sheldar Isle, the Emrakul, and the Boseiju, they are for the blue control decks of the format, which right now is Beanstalk decks. So one thing is like they will keep some number, if not all 4 copies of Leyline Binding versus you. And so you want Boseiju, because if you're making a Sheldar Isle pile and they Leyline Bind your Emrakul, then you have this unanswerable Boseiju, which is awesome. It can also be used on a dress down. And I feel like most of those control decks, those soupy decks right now, aren't playing Wasteland. So I think these 3 cards alone, and I would probably add like 1 or 2 carpets, I'm not sure, just make control a pretty enticing matchup. Um, oh yeah, I was gonna say the 4 Leylines also. What I had in those places initially was 3 Sheoldred and an extra Cavern of Souls, but I just feel like when the most popular tempo deck is has like 4 Animate Dead and 4 Reanimate and 4 Grief and some number of Thoughtseize, having Sheoldred is just like pretty risky, and like it's not like resolving a Sheoldred and having a cantrip in hand isn't necessarily game over, because if they then have Bowmasters, then yeah, I mean we gain 2 life from the Ponder, or we gain 6 life from the Brainstorm, but they also like deal us half that in damage. Plus they grow their army, and eventually like we might not be able to beat the board, and that's on top of the whole like if they ever discard it from us and reanimate it, it's game over. So I just felt like Sheoldred is probably not for right now, and yeah, and so finally I was like, I had 4 Force of Negation, and I was unsure about. I had like a Veil of Summer #4 for my last slot, but I was like, okay, but there's one sort of archetype we've not really addressed here, and that's the Ancient Tomb Goblin Bombardiers matchup, Mags of the Moon, and I just thought, well, I mean, if we go down to 3 Force of Negation, that's 7 force effects still. That's probably good enough, and then add 2 Subtlety, um, and then it all sort of fell into place. I'm really excited to play this. Um, let's go play and probably face matchups we haven't prepared for, or tumble and fall flat in our faces. But yeah, I'm gonna try it out. Let's go. On the play for our #1. By the way, that was a 9-minute deck tech. I didn't mean for it to go on for that long. Thanks for sticking around or for skipping to this point and still watching. Yeah, we won the dice roll. Let's go. Yep, this works. Gonna start off with a Okay, an opponent mulliganing to 6. I think I'm going to go Polluted Delta, Underground Sea, Ponder. That sort of gives away what we're doing, or at least like gives a pretty good hint as to what kind of deck we are, but oof. How about that? All right. This is turn 2 Doomsday. I'm going to stack it like this. And then, yeah, see if we can make this happen. Bloodstained Mire. So this could be Scam. It could be Black-Red Reanimator. Could be something else. So I think I get Underground Sea here. I think I play out the LED just in case I end up for some reason having to pay for like a Spell Pierce or whatever. I don't know. Something. Let's just hope we don't get Flusterstormed here. Oh, okay. Looks like that just happened. So the problem is, all right, hang on. So we'll be at 9. If I draw a Consider, and then I cast Consider, and I bin Deep Analysis, and then I draw Thoughtseize, and then I Thoughtseize, and then I sack LED, and I draw Thassa plus Cavern of Souls. I mean, if they are like a Wasteland deck, then that kind of fucks us up a little bit, or at least it means we can't Thoughtseize. Also, maybe the Cavern is a bad idea, because if I have to daze, then we will have used our land drop. Yeah, I'm gonna put a Petal in there instead. And how much life is this gonna cost us? We'll be at 9. Take 3 from Deep Analysis down to 6. Take 2 Thoughtseize down to 4. Potentially Force of Will down to 3. So we're sort of in 3 range if we want to use everything here. But let's try this. Thoughtseize, and then Deep Analysis, then Consider. If they cast Entomb here, I just daze it. Alright, priority has been passed. We're in my end step, and they are fetching. What do they get here? Underground Sea, okay. Brainstorm, okay, I'm not gonna daze that. So this could still be, like, some variation of Reanimator, like the Riskaminator or Blue-Black Reanimator, or it could be just Scam, or it could be Grixis Delver, it could be loads of things. We can't really survive a resolved Orcish Bowmaster's Taiga. Oh, it's Storm. Okay. Really hope they aren't sitting on like a natural tendrils here. Is this Burning Wish? It is. Okay, they didn't crack LED, so this tells me it's Burning Wish for Echo of Eons, in which case that's an easy Force of Will. Unless they have 2 Echo of Eons in hand. Okay, so they Veil of Summer here. I daze. And then they crack LED to pay for days. Then I'm fucked. That's no good. Yeah, looks like they're gonna get to cast their Echo of Eons. I think I have to force this daze, or this Veil, rather. So if I force, there's 5 cards in my deck. I'll have 1 card in hand, and 1 card in the graveyard. So, or rather 2 cards in the graveyard plus 1. So that's exactly 7 I can draw plus 1 that's left. So I think that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to force this. We'll draw our entire deck minus 1 card. We just have to hope it's Force of Will, that Force of Will is not on the bottom. Yeah, okay, Force of Will was not on the bottom. Thassa's Oracle is in my hand though. So that could potentially be a bit awkward. So that must mean that Lotus Petal is the last card. Chrome Mox. Oh, crap. Well, sorry, I thought for a second about dazing that Petal, but I guess that then they would have to sack LED Okay, so they imprint a Veil here. Okay, I'm gonna daze the Veil, I think. Huh. Or I just force the Veil. It's turn 2, so they don't have any more lands. Um, this could mean another Echo, maybe? I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna force this. I'm hoping they have to like cast a Dark Ritual off of, what do I want? Yeah, I'm gonna pitch the Deep Analysis. Yeah, I'm hoping they have that like the, yeah, I don't know. Basically just hoping that they don't have like another Petal so that my Daze is live here. Ponder. Uh, I think I let that happen. We could Daze it and then they would have 2 cards in hand. They shuffle. Interesting. Okay, they concede. Yup. Alright, so do they have a win against the Resolved Leyline? This stops both Tendrils and Grape Shot. They would need to bounce it, which obviously is not important or not impossible at all, but I think it is probably a pretty strong play against them. That's 7 cards, so what would we cut here? Let's just see how many blue cards. That makes it 25 blue cards. So I think we can cut a little bit on the speed. We can cut a Cabal Ritual. I do still want to be able to win on the same turn, ideally. Maybe I'll cut at least one, maybe more than one Personal Tutor. The Veil of Summers, I mean, I'm bringing in the 4 ley lines. Veil of Summers still feels somewhat like interesting. Yeah, maybe I'll cut like a Petal and another Personal Tutor. Yeah, this felt more like a, oh, actually, hang on. I should probably cut Cavern of Souls before I cut a Lotus Petal. I don't think they have counter spells in their deck. Yeah, someone in the comments made a good comment about like I'm not very good at cutting Cavern of Souls versus stuff that doesn't counter, and I think that's true. So it's something I am trying to work a little bit on. Yeah, I mean, bring it on. Gonna keep this. It's not. No, I did. This is very good for like a leyline hand. Ideally, maybe one of the lands was a spell, but yeah. Here we go. So they have to beat this and force. Unless it's like one of those, the Epic Storm list that also plays Urza Saga, in which case I'll be sad. Hopefully they're over there like tanking, thinking, do I have an out for this? But no, they were Burning Wish deck. They would have an out. Okay. Tendrils was imprinted. This is like Galvanic Relay, maybe. I'll Force of Will a Song of Creation here, which it looks like is what they're playing. I think that is how they win. Okay. I'm gonna drop the Misty Rainforest here so that I can surveil before my next draw. Yeah, that like they are totally depleted here, but we do have to worry about Burning Wish because a Burning Wish finds a bounce spell and another land. Wow, 15 lands. Look how many of them we've drawn. But thankfully we didn't draw that one there, which of course we wouldn't have drawn if we hadn't fetched. See, how about a spell? Yes, please. Ponderino. Doomsday that I can cast right now. I think I just go for that. So we can survive them casting Echo of Eons here. That's, I think, the main thing we have to be concerned with. Let's say Edge of Autumn, Street Wraith. Do we have another Consider in the, or did yeah, I pitched my Consider, my one remaining Consider. That's fine. I don't expect them to have like Force of like Pyroblast or anything. But just to be sure, I don't not just to be sure, but maybe we put a couple of forces in the pile in case they do Echo of Eons us. So I'll put the 2 forces on the bottom and then the Thassa in the middle and the 2 cyclers, and then I would be kind of surprised if they have something that kills the Thassa. I would at most expect it to get bounced, in which case we just replay it. But let's see. Let's see if they probably need to like to Echo of Eons us right now. They're passing. So pause on our upkeep. Maybe they play Surgical Extraction. Okay, I'm gonna sack the tropical island because there is a world where we end up like redrawing stuff and Doomsday entering our hand if they play an Echo of Eons or whatever, if somehow we don't win right now. And in that case, I would rather have like the 3 Underground Sea lands in play because we don't have any green spells aside from the Edge of Autumn itself. Let's see if they suddenly have like Red Blast. Okay, they are fetching. They have Abrupt Decay. Oh, wow. Oh, Veil of Summer. Yeah, I guess they could have Abrupt Decay, which they can't cast right now. So they cast Veil of Summer. Did they find something? No, they did not. All right, sweet. Ugh. Yeah, I suppose Abrupt Decay is not completely out of this world that they could have that. From what I've seen, Brian Cook has been playing like Boseiju instead of Abrupt Decay lately, but I don't know if Decay is back. But yeah, fortunately they didn't have it. We're off to a winning start. Let's go. Okay, on the draw versus a certain Lightwalker. Lightwalker is a painter expert that is making YouTube content, much as I am. You should go check out his channel. It's yeah, I believe it's just Lightwalker, maybe Lightwalker MTG. He uploads like a lot of painter content, and so he's also a very good player. Okay, I am going to keep this hand, even though I do not like having to put Personal Tutor on the stack versus Painter. So we'll see. Fortunately, last time I played against Mr. Lightwalker, I was not on Doomsday, so maybe we can cheat him, but he does seem to always assume I'm on Doomsday. Lightwalker also kept 7. Okay, so there's a bauble. That's not something you typically see in Painter. Emery, huh? So this, I'm still assuming it's gonna be some like this deck is gonna have Painter in it, like so like 8 cast Painter. I think I'm gonna let this resolve. Maybe I'll regret that. No Chalice of the Void in the graveyard. That's nice. All right. Gosh, I don't know. Like, so if I personal tutor for Doomsday right now, I'm not really like doing anything. Like I'll draw the Doomsday and then I'll still have to like cantrip to find the 3rd land. I would be more interested in. So I'm gonna play the Misty Rainforest, and depending on what happens, I may or may not want to cast Consider, or alternatively keep Consider as a blue card for my 2nd force, and then just use the Undercity Sewers as sort of the Consider Surveil. I think actually probably the latter. And again, I think I've talked about this before. This is really annoying. See, I'm going to fetch at end of turn. And if I was playing in paper, I would be able to, as I fetch, pick up my deck, look at what was the top card. So I know what my opponent had just seen with the bauble. Okay, they're getting Mox Opal. But I'm not going to be able to do that, so I'm not going to have that piece of information. Just one of those little sort of pieces of minutia of how Magic Online is different from paper. Okay, representing, I guess, Hull Breacher. I'm not sure what else. Okay, Force of Will. I'm gonna put that in the graveyard. That's somewhat giving away a sign here. Okay, Lotus Petal. Okay, so I am going to cast Personal Tutor. Let's see if it gets like Metallic Rebuked. If they fight over this, I think I'm fighting back. Okay, Personal Tutor has resolved. I'm gonna just pass here. If they somehow mess with the top of my deck, I have the choice to either Edge of Autumn or cast Consider, and I think it would probably be casting Consider just to draw the Doomsday. I don't expect them to, but you never know. Like I said, I do believe this is a Painter, well, I know this is a Painter opponent, and even though we've not seen any Painter cards as such, I guess, you know, Mox Opal notwithstanding, I do kind of suspect that they will. And there's Saga, okay. Hopefully that will be a turn too late for them. So that they don't get to like pop for a grindstone. Is this a chalice maybe? No, 3. 3 mana. 4 mana. Is this Karn? What's going on? Thought Monitor. Yeah, this is 2 cards either way. I'm gonna hang on to my forces. Would just absolutely love for them to tap out here so that my Daze is live, but doesn't look like that's happening. What's the text on Metallic Rebuke? Your artifacts can help cast a spell. Can pay for one. Okay, so they can tap their Thought Monitor and their Mishra's Bauble to pay for the 2 generic mana, but then they still have to tap the seat, I mean. So hopefully, like, I would love for them to Metallic Rebuke, or like I force, and then they Metallic Rebuke and I Daze. Because what I really want to do here is keep the Consider in hand, because Consider plus Edge of Autumn means we get to win with a deep analysis if they can't counter any, like, if they can't counter. So okay, they know what's coming. It's Doomsday. I expect a fight here. Okay, there's force. All right, so I mean, I can force pitch force, and then if they have a second force, then my Doomsday is countered and I've likely lost. Or I can force pitch Daze, and then if they have another force, then I can force back. I don't know how many Metallic Rebukes they play here. I think I force pitch Daze. I know they play 4 force. I don't know that they play 4 Metallic Rebuke and 1 is already in the graveyard. And because like we're sort of a card ahead on, or a turn ahead of the Saga popping to get like Grindstone, and we have a Cycler, we can hopefully like just beat the traffic, so to speak. So I am actually gonna not go for the, like, if this just resolves now, then I may like consider doing the consider win thing, but let's see. Okay, so force resolved. They have another force. Right on. Let's hope they don't have a third piece of interaction. Okay, so Camera Souls, in case they draw another counter spell. Thassa, Edge, Street Wraith. Or rather, I have an Edge already. All right, so I'll be at 8, and I'll be taking 4. So they have to not be able to deal me like 4 damage next turn. They have 3 coming in if they attack with Thought Monitor and Emery. So hopefully that's it. Let's try this. And if we're like, we can put the Cavern on the bottom. And that can save us a Street Wraith cycle if we really get desperate. Yeah, and let's go like this. In case they do resolve like Grindstone and grind us, they don't take everything. They don't get to the Oracle, I mean. Okay, so they're going to see that Edge of Autumn is the top card. Hopefully they don't have like a what do you call it? Pithing Needle is what I meant to say. And the shadow. Oh wait, can they? No, but if they equip the Shadow Spear, if they cast it, then Emery's not attacking, so the damage sort of cancels itself out. I don't think I've seen Lightwalker play with Forcefill before, so I don't know if that means this isn't Painter. I believe there was like an 8-cast Painter deck, and I think since it had like the moniker 8-cast, I think that kind of also indicated that it played Force. So maybe that is just like, this could still be Painter is what I'm getting at. Okay, they are going for the Bauble here to maximize draws, I guess. Hopefully that means that we have them. I don't think they aren't going to be playing like Torpor Orb in the main deck or something, and I don't see them playing Dress Down. So just trying to work out what could be like. Yeah, I still think like Pithing Needle is the biggest concern we have, aside from them like, I guess if they have like, I don't know, Walking Bliss or something that just kills us. But okay, they're representing Hardcast Force here. Luckily we have that beat, so Let's just see if this is going to be good enough. I guess they could, like, there are some paint, like, 8 cast decks that splash black for what you call it, Orcish Bowmasters. That would be kind of brutal here. Can we even beat that? Let's see. If I cycle, I guess they should cast it now then if they had it. If we get to my turn and I get to my main phase rather, if I cycle an edge and then they Bowmaster, then I cycle a second edge, cycle Street Wraith, I would then be at 2 life. And then the first edge, yeah, I would survive that. That's neat. I would be at 1 life. Here, my friends, is an important tip for when playing on Magic Online. See that right now there are 2 blue mana in my pool. So I'm going to play the Cavern, right? And I'm going to name Merfolk. If I were to just click once on my Thassa's Oracle right now and play it, it would just empty my pool and it would be on the stack. So don't make that mistake. I've made that mistake before. So let me make that for you so you don't have to. Tap mana into your Cavern. And now you can click on the Thassa. See, it doesn't even ask you to play it. It immediately just goes to see if there's mana in the pool. So make sure you use that Cavern mana. Lightwalker is tapping mana. The Showman showing us the Force of Will. Yeah, good thing we made this pile. All right, cool. So for sideboard, I don't really have that much. I do wonder if I would be happy having Sheldog Isle Emrakul in here, because are we gonna have time to go like past the turn? Like, this is a Force of Will deck, so I am kind of concerned about them. Like, I don't think I would ever like just YOLO let's win right now, like through LED. Although maybe that's incorrect. Like, we are a Veil of Summer deck. If we could Veil of Summer before, we'd be good. Could they have stuff that like plays? Again, I don't think this deck plays Dress Down, but like maybe they could have Torpor Orb in the sideboard if they're really concerned about like this deck and I don't know, like goblins. Torpor Orb could be a card, and Emrakul is somewhat effective at beating that. We could also board in Boseiju just to have an answer to a Chalice or something. I'm not in love with like being too reactive here though. But let's see here. Let's cut maybe a Personal Tutor. I think I'm actually okay cutting the LED, and that means cutting Deep Analysis too. And maybe like Personal Tutor number 3 is better than Consider number 2. Yeah, let's try this. All right. I think I mulligan this. Like any other card than like the second Edge of Autumn. Yeah, I think I have to mulligan this. That's too bad. Okay, this I can work with. I'm gonna keep and I'm gonna bottom the Emrakul. It's the one card we don't really want. And I really hope I don't get like Chalice for 1 here. That's my hope. Well, they have Chalice for 1 mana. Don't do it. Oh, Grindstone, okay. So it is Painter. Haha. Okay. Maybe that means we want like what you call it. Tell you what, this is like if their last cards in hand are like Force Blue card, then that's obviously a bit of an issue, but I do think I go for it here. We have the Daze, which doesn't really impress me much against the Lotus Petal Mox Opal. So this is a pretty juicy, easy force target, obviously. Oh, it's Metallic Rebuke. Yeah, about that. Let's tap for blue. Okay, so I mean, we can brainstorm. What can we do with that? So if I brainstorm, I don't think because I boarded out LED. Hey, what a klutz I am, huh? So what happens? I make a, let's see, if I make a pile that is, does Consider do it here, right? Like, no. Okay, if I make the pile Petal, Consider, No, that doesn't work. Um, how do we beat this grindstone, huh? I guess the Boseiju, maybe? Alright, this is not gonna be pretty. I'm gonna put Thassa, Boseiju, and Emrakul in the pile. And it's gonna take us a while to get to Boseiju mana. Maybe we just want petals. So what happens here? I brainstorm, and then I draw Petal Thassa, and I put back. Actually, maybe that's just wrong. Maybe I want like Street Wraith. So okay. So I cast Brainstorm. I draw Petal, Street Wraith, Thassa. Bottom two cards, Boseiju and Emrakul. Maybe I need the Boseiju actually to also be a cycler, because the Emrakul is gonna shuffle the deck. I'm not even sure if this is gonna work even close to work. So I brainstorm. I draw Petal, Thassa, Street Wraith. I put back Tropical Island and Cavern of Souls, and then I pass. And then we'll see when they. So what happens if they just activate the grindstone? Holy smokes, this is hard. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe the Boseiju does need to be in there. How about this? Boseiju. So, change your plans. Thassa, Lotus Petal, Boseiju. Put back, I guess, Thassa and Cavern of Souls. And then next turn, I can like play Trop, play the Petal, have Boseiju ready, and then we'll take it from there. I'm gonna try this. I don't know. This is weird and wild. Emrakul is gonna be in the bottom. If that's the case, maybe like even having Street Wraith in hand is better than like Thassa can just be the second from the bottom. Or I guess I'll draw the Street Wraith? Question mark. Cast the Brainstorm. Okay, I'm gonna put back. Doesn't matter. I guess I'll put back Tropical Island and the Street Wraith, and I'll play the Petal. I don't know that they would ever venture to like Charles for 0, but I think there is a higher chance of that than them killing my Petal right now. Okay, so it looks like they're passing. I wonder how far they'll go before activating the grindstone. Okay, so they let me. Okay, I'm gonna play Cavern on Wizard. Make them at least have to expect or respect something else. I think I wait with the Boseiju activation. Also, like, I don't know if there's a whole different subgame here. Like, if they have access to a second grindstone, when do you play it? Okay, looks like they are activating it right now. Okay, so I'm gonna let the grindstone activation happen. And then I'm gonna let the Emrakul shuffle thing happen, because I don't want Petal and Boseiju to get shuffled back in. Oh no! Holy cannoli! Okay. So I am gonna just play on here. I'm gonna make them have to consider that I might have a second Oracle. So I am gonna get them to activate the grindstone again, hopefully. Yes! Wow. Wow, sorry Lightwalker. I'd completely messed up my own pile here, and looks like I didn't get punished. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna. Do I cycle the Street Wraith first? No, I think I Boseiju the grindstone first. So ideally, we draw like Tropical Island and Brainstorm here off of top of the deck. Well, there's Brainstorm. I'm gonna cycle the Street Wraith. Okay. So now we are in an awkward sort of just drawing cards situation. And we're at 8 life, but they like them not having a saga early on is pretty big. Let's hope they continue to not represent a threat. Oh, I can't believe I made that punt. I could even have cycled the Street Wraith if I had actually counted. Oh wow, another grindstone. That's so sick. Are they just activating it? It's hard to know when to use it, huh? It's very interesting. I'm also concerned if there's a game three, because I kind of want to, now that I know that that it is a grindstone strategy, I kind of want to board in the white ley lines. But then if we just have a completely different like game where they go like turn one saga, turn two saga, then I'm under so much pressure. Then like having white ley lines aren't really going to be the deciding factor. Okay, it looks like they're just passing. So, so 1 in 3 risk of us just drawing their Merkle right now. Lightwalker is. Oh yeah, okay. So we lose. I'm gonna concede now. Emrakul was the bottom card. Yeah. Punished. All right. I want the ley lines. And I think if that's the case, I don't know. I think maybe we don't need the Emrakul Shell Argyle then. But it's weird because like right now they're already probably thinking that Emrakul isn't, or like the Shell Argyle means the Grindstone plan isn't that safe, but I don't know. And we also just lost basically to, like, if I'd had the LED in the deck, we would have just won on the spot, but I didn't, so we ended up in this weird situation. Maybe like it's not that unreasonable to get to a point where we feel like they can't counter anymore. We've also not seen there are Chals. Them being a painter version of this deck probably means Chals is maybe not in this deck because of the grindstones and multiples. Anyways, hopefully Leyline means we don't need the Boseiju. Do I want the LED and the deep analysis? Maybe I'll cut the Cabal Ritual. I'll cut a personal tutor. Because I'm down to 20 blue cards. It's probably okay. And I guess I'll cut a Street Wraith. Just, yeah, let's try and submit this. All right. On the plate. Come on with a good one. Yeah, I'll take this. I mean, it'll leave us with Doomsday resolved and having Thoughtseize them and then nothing else. But we came to game, right? Well, let's see here. If they're at 6 here. If I Thoughtseize them and see double force, I'm gonna be a bit upset. Grindstone. Let's see here. So if I take away the grindstone, then they play Petal, Bauble, Seat, play Emery. Then this following turn, they can cast the grindstone, and if they draw a Soul Land or another Mox, they'll be able to represent grindstone. Is there another play here? What happens if I take the Lotus Petal? Then they can't, like, they could play grindstone then off of Seat, but then they just have 1 mana and Seat. The problem is I'm gonna have to draw twice. I'm gonna have to put a land and then like a Consider or a land and a Brainstorm kind of thing. So I have to draw twice. Okay, let's just go through this again. I take the grindstone now, cast Doomsday. I pass the turn. Then they make like Seed, Petal, Bauble. They cast Emery. Pass. I draw my land, say. Then it's their turn. So now they have Seat and Petal. So they tap their Emery, tap their Seat, cast the grindstone. And then if they drew an Ancient Tomb or another Petal or a Mox Opal, then they just have me. I don't know that I can build a pile that beats, unless we can like mess with your mind. But the other way around, if I take the Lotus Petal, make Doomsday. They take their turn, they play Seat, they play Grindstone. Then they no longer can get there with a Mox Opal or another Petal, right? Is that right? No, another Petal would still do it, right? Everything would still do it, right? Sorry, I'm yapping here. They go Seat, Grindstone. untap. If they draw Petal or Mox, whatever, then they just go Saga, have 3 mana. Yeah, no, I have to take. I think I have to take the Grindstone, and then I I Dark Ritual Doomsday, and let's see. Ah, oh, god damn it! Like even with this Ponder, well, we need the Oracle, right? Let's say we draw Consider, and then we draw, say, or even a Petal. Then we bin Deep Analysis, draw LED plus. No, that's not good enough. We'll be a mana short, right? Yeah, because the Petal is what casts Consider, so that actually doesn't work. We can also just make it a Brainstorm pile, I guess. In that case, yeah, so we draw Petal, we draw Brainstorm, we Brainstorm into... Ugh! Nope, that doesn't work either. Okay, how about we make it, we draw LED, we draw Petal, and then we cast Ponder, and then just cycle the rest of the stuff. I guess we don't need the Consider, and Petal probably needs to be like, needs to be a land, because then we can also put an Edge of Autumn in there. So we draw the land next turn, then we draw LED, and then we win from there with Days backup. But we need them to not get the Grindstone down. If they do get the Grindstone down, then maybe we need to... I think we probably still need Thassa to be the bottom card and hope that they just grind before, like with the Ponder on the stack. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if there's a better pile. There probably is, but I can't think of it sort of right now. So let's go cycler, go like this. Okay. They'll be looking through the pile. They'll see that there's no Emrakul. Based on how the last game played out, they will have to accept that there's probably an Emrakul in the pile. So that's at least something that may play out to our advantage. That they have to consider that, and they have to like keep that in mind. And we know that that's not the case. But yeah. So I can't cast Ponder next turn. Yeah, no, I need to keep my Ponder in hand. Also, I think... Okay, there's a Bauble. We're also like, we're dead to them drawing a Force. But I think that's sort of just the name of the game. They see the LED, or rather, sorry, they see the Underground Sea here. It's a really interesting game. I'm happy we got to play this out regardless of how it sort of ends up playing out. Okay, so they just drew another Grindstone. That's brutal. Okay, so if they just activate the Grindstone right now, we lose. Because I can't make like blue mana. That was a Saga, so their hand is Emery plus something. I do, however, think if they're not sitting on a Force and they don't activate Grindstone and they let me draw my LED, then I think we win regardless. Because then we Ponder and crack LED, and if they use Grindstone, the 2 cyclers just go into the graveyard. Ponder resolves. There's only 1 card in the deck, and it's Thassa. And if they don't, then we put Thassa in her hand, and then we just play her. But yeah, they probably use the Grindstone. I don't know. I would imagine so. Okay, they're playing Emery. I suppose I could have dazed there. I think I probably am supposed to daze there. I guess no. If I daze there, they just don't pay for it because they need the 3 mana. Come on, just pass. Just pass, and just also let me draw my card. No! Damn. Alright. I'm gonna just say GG's. GG's. Alright. That was a close game. Very cool. Alright. Off to round number 3. On the play for round number 3. Yeah, let's go. And I think I play the Delta here. Again, we can then choose between either surveilling or casting Consider, or just taking our draw step and having like fetch land plus Underground Sea plus Brainstorm. I kind of dig that. All right, let's just go Delta Pass. See what we're up against. Pedal. Okay. Chromox. Okay. Could this be initiative? Is this where they go like Cavern of Souls? Get wrecked? No, but Source to Plowshares. What Saga deck is also a Swords to Plowshares deck in this economy? I mean, Initiative sometimes play Plow, but I don't know that they're known for playing Saga. Another Painter deck. Yikes. Okay, so we are under the cosh here. Chosen color is white. Right on. I think I actually just take my draw step here and I brainstorm. Hopefully find like a dark ritual or something. Street Wraith is also good. Street Wraith actually just makes it a done deal next turn. If there is a next turn and our opponent, so many riches. Okay, so let's put away Lotus Petal and I guess Consider. And we have Force and Force Pitch Daze, and then just like Street Wraiths, like Doomsday, then LED, Street Wraith, sack LED. So we just, and their Saga's not popping until next turn. So we just need them to not be like a Force of Will deck or a Pyroblast deck, and them having like Plow. I don't know. I guess it could just be regular like Boros Painter, in which case they probably have. But why wouldn't you name blue then? Don't you always name blue, or more or less always, just to be able to like I'm also like, is there a better card to draw than the Consider? The Consider is a blue card, meaning we would have both Force and Daze, but none of that matters if they end up like, if we have to crack LED. So maybe drawing like a Dark Ritual would actually be better, like Dark Ritual, and then we could cycle a bunch and then still have Force Daze. Wasteland. Holy cannoli. Wait, I put back a pedal, didn't I? Fuck. Yeah, this is like pretty bad. Because the pedal is a card down from the Consider, and now they're gonna get to a point where, like, unless I can surveil into a Dark Ritual or another pedal. Yeah, damn, Wasteland. What is this madness? Okay, I am gonna surveil with Undercity Sewers here. Really hope to hit like any ritual slash pedal, not Veil of Summer. Okay, come on, fingers crossed. Yes, Dark Ritual. All right. I mean, we still lose to like a Red Blast, and potentially like if they have some sort of weirdo card I'm not thinking about. Okay, so we're gonna cycle the Street Wraith, and it is going to draw us, let's say, Consider, and then Consider away the Deep Analysis, and then Deep Analysis draws us some cards. Okay. So we can't beat a counterspell, I don't think, no matter what we do here. We made our land drop, so can't get the Cavern into play. I also, like, I don't know how much damage I can afford to take here. Could they have some way of dealing me direct damage? Okay, let's just see here. What's the play? So I cycle Street Wraith. I'll draw Consider. Cast Consider, put Deep Analysis into the graveyard. Cast Deep Analysis, draw Thassa plus... we'll need a mana. So I guess a pedal. I think that's the pile. But I also have Edge of Autumn. So wait. Street Wraith, draw Consider. Consider, put Deep Analysis into the graveyard, draw Edge of Autumn. Edge of Autumn. Sorry, rather, Deep Analysis. I guess Edge of Autumn could then be like Daze. And then we actually do have, at least if they tap out, we can do something. So let me just make sure sorry, sorry for everyone watching here, you're probably pulling out your hair. Okay, I cycle Street Wraith into Consider, cast Consider, put Deep Analysis into the yard, draw Daze. I cast Deep Analysis, drawing Lotus Petal and Thassa. Okay, that should work. It's been a hot minute since I played with Deep Analysis. So Daze, third card down, Deep Analysis, Consider. And I have to sack LED at the latest with Deep Analysis on the stack. So I am actually I'm gonna cycle the Street Wraith and not sack the LED quite yet, because that might push them to make a move with the cycling ability on the stack. And then my Force and Daze are live, and also it doesn't really matter for me, because if they touch, I can't remember if touch the Spirit Realm can take artifacts, it probably can. But if they do that on the LED, we just sack it, and then it doesn't matter. Like, we have the mana, cycling ability resolves, we draw Consider, etc. and so forth. Gonna make it a bit of a pause here to make it seem like I'm really thinking about this. Okay, cycle Street Wraith. None of this probably matters, but you never know. Okay, now we have to maintain priority. Cast this Consider, sack the LED for blue. Put Deep Analysis into the graveyard. Cast Deep Analysis, target ourselves. And hopefully they haven't just been slow rolling a Force of Will here. Or I don't know. They're that instant speed that flash creature that is like a Hushbringer, maybe. But I think that costs 3 mana, and then we have the Daze. Alright, toss us in. Do we win? We do. Alright, second painter opponent here. It's not very pleasant. I think I want the Leylines. Don't exactly know what's going on. I think I probably want Boseiju. Don't think I want Emrakul. Hoping the Leylines will sort of be enough. Gonna board out Veil of Summer. This only works if they name blue, which we just saw that they didn't. What else? I think maybe it's okay to board out the Deep Analysis and one of the Considers. Just they are prone to, or they're probably gonna board in some sort of graveyard interaction. And I'd rather not have that to deal with. All right. Don't think I can keep this. This is way too sort of just dysfunctional, right? One of these personal tours is a blue producing land, then I'm suddenly pretty interested. I suppose there is a world where we keep and then try and cycle Street Wraith, and then between Street Wraith and potentially Ponderoth of Petal, we find a blue producing land, blue and black producing land. But yeah, I don't know. This feels a little bit too risky. Opponent mulligans to 6. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan too. Okay, I'll keep this. I'll bottom a land, and really hope we can dodge Ursa Saga. Okay, opponent found 6 that they liked. I'm gonna put Misty Rainforest away. They are a Pith and Needle deck. You never know. Put Leyline of Sanctity into play. Let's see what this does. If they just go like Saga Go, I'm gonna be a trifle annoyed. Okay, that's not Saga, so that's good. It also means they don't have a Saga, because then this play makes no sense. And what do you know? We draw Doomsday, but probably the card we want the most. I'm gonna not just cycle the Street Wraith blindly here. That might actually be a card we want together with Doomsday, but we'll see. And I feel like the Surveil land is gonna go a while here. Okay, here comes the Saga. Now I'm just this one turn hopefully is gonna be significant enough. It depends on the rest of the makeup of their hand, of course. If they have, you know, things that interact with us. They showed us Wasteland, didn't they, as well? So nothing is safe here. I'm gonna bottom this, or put this Surveil away this Misty Rainforest. Big pause here. If they Surgically extract my Misty Rainforest. I'm gonna absolutely lose it here. But I'm not expecting them to. They have been taking long pauses in between priority passes here. I don't know. Maybe they're recording a video. I think I just play out Underground Sea here and pass, so we can hard cast a Daze if need be, and we save the fetch land. I'm not sure it'll come up, but Deafening Silence. So tell you what, I'm gonna Daze this, and the reason I'm gonna do that is because it's somewhat free for us, and it's gonna, if they want this Deafening Silence to resolve, and it's gonna cost them the construct, and it's gonna alleviate pressure from us. Yeah, wow, big play on their part. I respect it. Yeah, second Doomsday, not really what we want. Okay, so I'm gonna cast Doomsday, and then they'll make a construct. It'll be a 1/1. They'll make another one and get to fetch, so it'll be a 3/3 at least. And if they can put more artifacts into play, it can be as much as a 5/5 or I guess a 6/6. That seems a little bit unlikely. I don't like, they can't grindstone us with the Leyline in play, so I'm not sure what they can really do here. So I suppose there's also a world where we wait here, and then we win on the same turn we cast Doomsday with the Street Wraith. But no, like if they get a Wasteland, if they have Pithing Needle naming either Misty Rainforest or Street Wraith, all of those things are really annoying. Could they be a Chalice of the Void deck that puts a Chalice on 2 and tries to get us like that? It's not impossible. So maybe we put in the Cavern. And just all the cyclers. So, I mean, the problem is going to be Pithing Needle, if we're being honest. We could also, like not put in... God damn it. It's tough. So if I put in, like, say, a land instead. Let's say a tropical island. And let's say that with the Saga search trigger on the stack, I cycle Street Wraith and cycle another Street Wraith and cycle Edge of Autumn. And then draw the Thassa. The last 2 cards in the deck are Tropical Island and Cavern. Then if they don't put a Chalice on 2 into play, I can just like draw the Cavern and then not play it, but play the Misty Crack Fetch. Have empty library. I think I like that. It's if somehow, like, if they're clever enough to look at my 7 exiled fetch lands and know that I play a 4th Misty, which is not impossible, of course. Yeah, let's do it like this, huh? I'll pass the turn. I'll be at 5. Hang on. I'll be at 5 if I'm cycling twice. And then I'll be at 4 with the Misty, so that's actually, maybe we shouldn't have done that, and we can't. Let's see what they do here. If they commit themselves to tapping, maybe they'll just float mana. Yeah, I'm not sure. They're making another dude, so I have to cycle now, right? The construct will be a 3/3, and if they can make it a 5/5, I'm gonna be really sad. If they can make it a 4/4, then the Misty is out. But the Misty is no longer needed because... Or rather, the Cavern is no longer needed. So what happens if I just... How many edges did I put in? I forget. I think I only put 1 in, right? Let me just make... Oh, that's a sideboard. What am I doing? Yeah, there's an Edge of Autumn in there. So the deck right now is Street Wraith and then Thassa. So much tension here. I think I cycle again, god damn it. And then they only need to, like, whatever they search up here plus 1 more artifact. No, maybe, hang on. What am I saying? Yeah, the thing I'm trying to play around here is them also having removal, right? Oh, maybe I was supposed to cycle the Edge too. If they just get Pithing Needle here and name Edge, then I'm not playing around removal anymore. I don't know. We'll see. It's a lot of stuff to try and keep in your head. They do name get Pithing Needle here. They have two good names, Edge or Misty, but we'll be drawing the Thassa anyways. They do name Edge of Autumn. Okay. Can they plump down 2 more artifacts? What does this do? Cast creature spells. Okay. What's this? Scarecrow. Is that Painter? Yeah. Painter is a Scarecrow. Yeah, this is too bad. I think, when I made the pile, think to myself I needed to cycle all 3. Like the Street Wraith in my hand, the next Street Wraith in the edge, and then I just sort of forgot when the action went down. So if they have a Plow here or a Solitude, I'm gonna be sad. But yeah, I mean, they could also just have another artifact here, then we just lose. They did just name Scarecrow, so now they're playing around Daze, in which case it wouldn't have mattered. Oh no, now the Misty Rainforest is turned off. I could have done this differently too. Like I could have, instead of having like one of the cyclers, one of the Street Wraiths, I could have had a Consider. But then if they wasteland one of my blue sources, then suddenly I have to take that into account. Wow, it looks like they're not playing any more artifacts. Interesting. So I mean, the problem is now, okay, they have 3 cards in hand. None of them was an artifact that they could have just they could play for lethal. So they did make a land drop, so it could be another. They could be sitting on more lands, but my concern here is that I think they're sitting on removal. I mean, what else, right? Okay, surgical. Okay, I mean, surgical now means that they have a 2 and 3 chance of winning, and I have a 1 in 3 chance of winning because I have. We shuffle the last 3 cards. They are Misty Rainforest, Cavern Souls, and Thassa. So, and even if we draw the Thassa, the last 2 cards cannot be removable. All right, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We drew the Thassa. Okay. Well, better lucky than whatever. But let's see if they're sitting on removal. I'm not sure what else it would be. Could be more lands. All right, we got there. Lucky. Yeah, that was lucky. Wow, that felt tough, but ultimately, like, I think without the white ley line, do we just lose there? They get the grindstone instead of making a construct, and then we have that to. They didn't have a painter, but the grindstone in itself is just so hard to beat. Yeah. All right. Well, 2-1. Let's go to round number 4. Huh. On the play for round number 4. Let's go. Yeah, I'll keep this. It's almost not good enough to keep, but I will keep it. Opponent mulligans to 6. I find it really interesting, like, when do you Street Wraith and when do you not Street Wraith? Because I think when you start out playing Doomsday initially, you don't put enough value into the keeping a cycler in hand. There were so many times where if you can, like, Doomsday with a cycler in hand, you can win on the same turn, and without it, you can't. So, like, spewing off cyclers is not just by default correct. Also, like, with the Surveil land, I'm kind of incentivized to just do that. Like, Street Wraith, cycling Street Wraith gives away a lot of information. And I would be looking for action here, so if I find, I guess, Ponder. No, I'm gonna just play the land here. If I get, like, discarded, I might just Street Wraith in response, looking for a Veil. Okay, basic island. Shuko. Okay, so it's Cephalid Breakfast. All right, let's get into the sewers. Let's go find Pennywise. Personal tutor. That seems decent, as the kids say. I think I cast this personal tutor off of a fetched Underground Sea. Yeah. So Cephalid Breakfast plays Force and Daze. And we only have, like, 1 piece of interaction here. They are also, like, a card of, like, they can just go Cephalid Illusionist win right now. And if they can protect it, we've lost. Like, Street Wraith can't even find a blue card to pitch to Force, so we would have both Force and Daze, because, yeah, guess what? There's a Doomsday on top. Brainstorm. Okay. I've also seen Cephalid Breakfast play Orcish Bowmasters. Cephalid Breakfast, there's this sort of sub game of like, what is their secondary plan? What is their non-combo plan? Is it Stoneforge Mystic? Is it Urza Saga? Is it Orcish Bowmasters? Is it some combination of those? Okay. We also have to be careful of what do you call it? Of Orm's Chant. So I think and they paused there on my draw step. I don't know. So I'm gonna cast the Doomsday, I believe, and we'll take it from there. It would suck to get dazed here, but we can fight back. So they have force. I think I cycle Street Wraith now. If I had a blue card, I would rather keep the daze, I think. Okay, I don't. We can still tilt them by having them think that we just cycled Street Wraith into this force. They had the daze. Wow, okay. Interesting that you don't lead on the daze. That must mean you really want 3 mana next turn. So maybe they pitched it to Teferi. Maybe they have like a second Teferi. Can we draw Doomsday one time? Nope. Alright, let's pass. No? No Teferi? Interesting. Oof. I think I'm actually gonna hang on. Maybe I'll play the Misty. I'm gonna hang on to the Petal and the Trop. Really hope to find a Brainstorm. Okay, but now they just win. Oh, wow, they even have the chant. Alright, so I'm just gonna yield here and let them mill over their deck so we can have a look at it. Cabal Therapy. They can Cabal Therapy us and see a land and a Petal, I don't mind. Like, if I had some tech in my hand, I would concede with the Cabal Therapy on the stack, but it's not really the case. So they do have Stoneforge Mystic. There's a Cauldra. They also have Saga. They also have Bowmasters in the main. So that's the deck. Alright. They did it. I don't feel like I have that much for this matchup, to be honest. Does Boseiju in any way break this up? Doesn't, right? Can kill the Shuko, but that doesn't really seem like the place to be. I mean, Leyline of Sanctity stops. It actually stops Orm's Chant, if I remember correctly. That's like the difference between Silence and Orm's Chant. I believe Silence says each opponent can't cast spells, and Orm's Chant says target player. Let me just have a look here. But I mean, even then, I don't know that it's that good. Yeah, target player. So it stops Orm's Chant. It means they can't, like Cabal Therapy us, but Cabal Therapy usually is reserved for after they have won, or like after they have gone off. And I'm not really playing Graveyard Disruption, so I'm not sure if maybe I'm just like better off not really tinkering a lot with this and trying to just win. Would there be any reason to put in Emrakul Sheldog Isle? Probably not, right? Force of Negation is not really that exciting because their whole combo is like non-creatures, or rather creatures, but then on the other hand, like it can help us like it increases the chances of us having like double force for like chant plus combo. I'll put away a Cabal Therapy or a Cabal Ritual and a Personal Tutor maybe. Yeah, I'm not really sure about this sideboard plan. Hadn't really drawn up the sideboard with Cephalid Breakfast in mind. With all due respect, it's not really played that often these days. Yeah, this plays. This is like turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Doomsday with Daze backup, and we'll sort of take it from there. So let's try that, huh? They kept 7 as well. If we're really lucky, we'll draw Dark Ritual next turn. Okay. I guess I take the Force of Will? Yeah, Force of Will can't protect their combo. That hand is kind of bad, to be honest. Let's see if they draw, like if they draw a blue card and just go land go. Well, there's the land go. If they tap out here, then I'm kind of pleased with that. Uh-huh. All right. Hey, Dark Ritual. All right. Let's cast the Dark Ritual. I do believe we can win protected with days through the whole thing, but I could be wrong. So let's say if we consider bin a card, draw Brainstorm, cast Brainstorm off Petal, draw. No, I guess that doesn't work. They do appear to have just like tapped out here, or like F6'd. Is there any other way? We consider bin deep analysis, and then we draw LED, we LED, cast deep analysis, and we draw Thassa plus days. I mean, if that wins with a days on this turn if they don't force of negation at the right time, and then it still is somewhat okay to win later on. Let's just try that. Just make sure I do this correctly. Oh, I don't need the consider, right? So I cast my consider now. I put away deep analysis. I draw LED. Then I crack LED, cast deep analysis from the graveyard, draw Thassa plus days. What am I missing here? What the? I guess like a cycler, is that it? So cast consider, put deep analysis into the graveyard, draw LED, crack LED, draw edge plus Thassa, and then edge into the days. And I have 1, 2, 5 mana, and I'll be using 1 on consider, 2 on deep analysis, and 2 on Thassa. Yeah. So story checks out. And if at any point before me cracking LED, they decide to put a spell on the stack, we can daze it. So that's kind of nice. Edge and Thassa, so we can like draw Thassa as quickly as possible. Let's put deep analysis into the graveyard. Oh yeah, they seem to just have F6 here. You love it. You love to see it. Or they're just tricking us. That's certainly also a possibility. Nah, they ain't tricking anyone. Okay, I'll Thassa here. They would have to have subtlety for this to matter. And then we can cycle and draw the days. Okay, alright. Like, they shown us basic plains, I can't remember. But they are a deck that plays like, I don't know, like basic swamp, and they can play around carpet. I honestly kind of like the sideboard. The setup here. Yeah, this seems a little bit soft, but I am going to keep it. They mulligan to 6, so they pass. Ugh, I did not want to see a land there. I am just going to pass here, keep my options open. I don't think there's a point in like casting Personal Tutor when you can't cast Doomsday the next turn, at least a lot of the time. They fetch on their upkeep, so no meticulous archive for them. That's the blue-white Azorius surveil land. I am going to surveil here. Okay, they're brainstorming in response. While the brainstorming's good. I don't know that I would ever fight a brainstorm. That's also another sort of staple of Legacy, is like the discussion, or rather like why do people never or almost never fight over brainstorms? It happens. It mostly happens against combo decks, but it's just interesting. I guess I'll put consider in the graveyard. And if I draw land, I'll be sad. Deep analysis, even worse. I think I am going to cycle the Street Wraith now. Second Street Wraith. I'll cycle that too. Force of Will. Okay. I think I cast Consider here before I decide what to do. Ugh, all these cyclers kind of coming up hot right now. Okay, I like the Brainstorm. And then next turn, I probably, like, I could see myself, like, untapping, then casting Brainstorm, and then casting Personal Tutor. We'll see. See what happens here when the dust settles. Okay, there's a Saga, so in a couple of turns they're gonna have some dudes, and they're gonna have a Shuko. Stoneforge Mystic is a little bit scary. Because, see, I'll be at like 14, 13, I don't know. Gosh. It's like if they just get Caldra, they'll have so much pressure on me. I think actually I have to force this. And I'm pitching Deep Analysis. Hopefully they don't like fluster us here. That's had to be Force of Will, and now like Cephalo Illusionist can't be countered, but we draw another force, so lucky for us. Alright, let's cast Brainstorm here. I'm looking for Veil of Summer and lands, or Dark Rituals, I suppose. So I think I cast the I just cast Personal Tutor here. Maybe I'm supposed to cast Ponder first and then cast Personal Tutor, because it would be so sweet to find like a Veil of Summer. But then we open the Personal Tutor up for days. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just Personal Tutor here. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I should have fetched the Misty, because now if we get into a counter war on their turn, then a daze forces me to shuffle. Yeah, that was loosely played on my part. Ugh. So we lose to 2 hard counters here, and we lose to like 1 Flusterstorm. I think I'm going to fetch the Trop here. I'll represent the Veil. Also, I don't want there to be an uncracked fetch, I don't think, even though that sometimes is really nice, but sometimes it's sort of it can be a disturbing factor to have to shuffle your deck at some point after you're resolving Doomsday. Okay, so they force. I'm gonna force back, and I'm gonna pitch the Force of Negation, because that isn't gonna be useful. And if they have another counterspell here, I'd rather have Ponder, like a million times rather have Ponder. Looks like they're not done. What was pitched here? An Archimedes, the easiest pitch in the world. They are making a construct, presumably for some reason. Okay. I mean, they're dazing. I am paying for daze. Is their last unknown card in hand the second daze? Appears it's not. Okay, so I'm gonna. Let's see here. They have a 1/1 right now. That's going to become a 3/3 at least. And then if it's Shuko, it becomes a 4/3. And I'll be at 5. So I mean, I can't put a Street Wraith into the pile. I can put Edge of Autumn, Thassa. It's pretty clear they don't have a second Force of Will here. So barring them drawing one, maybe we don't need to bother about the Cavern. Let's see. We have 4 lands. Like, if they have a chant, then we have lost here, because they're going to be able to time walk us and then just deal lethal damage. So what happens if I put a Veil of Summer into the pile, and I start by casting Veil of Summer. I draw Veil of Summer off for the turn, I cast it, and then I like ponder into edge into edge into Thassa. Then we can't have Consider in here. That's gonna take up too much mana. This beats them like ripping a Force of Will, which I kind of like. But now what is the last card gonna be? So Veil off of Trop, Ponder off of Sewers, and then we can't tap more mana until we put Thassa on the stack. So we need to just like, there has to be a blank here. I don't know. I kind of like leaving Cavern of Souls in the Exalt Zone, so they'll see it. Maybe they'll like draw cantrip and hope they can like win by finding a Force of Will. But I don't know. It might also all just be for nothing, because they were going to get Shuko. If they have a Cephalo Illusionist in hand, they just win. Easy peasy. Guess I'll put a daze, like make them think I have daze. Although it won't matter, because they have the mana regardless to play around days here. All right, so we draw Veil, we cast Veil, then we cast Ponder, we draw Edge, we draw Edge, we draw Thassa, Dazes on the bottom of the deck, whatever. Yep, I like that. Daze, Thassa, Edge, Edge, Veil. Okay, we lose to Cephalo Illusionist, we lose to a Chant. I think we beat most other things, but we shall see. So it'll be informative to see if they tap to make a construct here. They might think that, you know, pumping damage into me is gonna, like, correctly assume that's gonna mean I don't. Yeah, no, they're tapping mana. Damn it. Okay, there was the land they dazed away before. Stoneforge. Okay, that is not Cephalid Illusionist, and it's also tapping them out of white. I can't believe they would play into Daze here, so I don't think they have the Illusionist. Okay, just another Shuko. So they can deal me 4, right? Yeah. No! It's 5? It's 5! Oh, well played. Well played, sir. Ma'am. Yeah, okay. GG's opponent. They have lethal. Yeah, that was a sweet line. All right. 2-2. Let's see if we can finish with a positive record. On the play once more for the final round. Let's go. Yeah. Doomsday on turn 3 with force backup. It's mid. Mid to upper mid. It's probably upper mid. I mean, we get to survey. I like having the surveil land just makes every kind of hand like this a lot more sort of palatable. It might also be luring me into keeping like slower hands or whatever, but I don't know. Or adopting slower play patterns. I think that's something to watch out for, but just sort of on the face of it anyways. Okay, finally an Underground Sea Mirror. I guess the breakfast deck was too, but that's, I think, Tundra before Underground Sea. I really hope this isn't the mirror. Not that I don't enjoy that there are people playing Doomsday, but I really want to try it out against the like the scam deck. So let's see here. Undercity Sewers. Let's go. Yeah, I'll take a brainstorm. Heck yes. Let's grab this brainstorm here. Another Doomsday. Okay, so I think we can put away Doomsday, second Street Wraith. Then we will. Oh, actually, no. I was supposed to put away the personal sewer, wasn't I? No, but okay. Let's pass here. It'll be interesting to see. We're almost certainly up against the Daze deck. And they shuffle. I don't feel like my Veils of Summer have shown up that much during this league. I guess it's only really been relevant in the first round versus Storm, and then the fourth round versus Breakfast. I don't think I saw Veil versus Breakfast at all, which is unfortunate. Okay, so it looks like it is Doomsday, I guess. In which case, whoa, Chromox, is this Storm again? Well, if it's Storm, then oh yeah, there's an Echo. I guess it is. If we can get our turn, we have an instant win with the 2 Street Wraiths, but that is maybe a lot to ask for. If they ever decide to put a Veil on the stack, I think I just have to counter it. But I'll counter it pitching Personal Tutor, and then we always have the Hail Mary of fetching away the Street Wraith, and then like playing, like sacking or cycling the Street Wraith rather. Okay, 2 cards left in hand. A lot of mana in the pool. It's 5 mana. This is a Beseech with Bargain. I probably have to counter this. 5 mana. Is that ad nauseum? No, it's probably just Beseech, and they're tapping because they're going to be bargaining away one of their things, the Chromox or the Opal. Okay, I mean, I have to counter this. And we'll see if their last card in hand is Veil. Looks like it is. Yeah, alright. We have to hope that one of our remaining, one of our remaining, I guess, is it 19 blue cards, is in the top. I guess I'll get a Bayou here, right? Because if I then Veil is all also like an out. Yeah. All right. Blue card or Veil, please. Nope. All right. Guess we lose. I don't know. I'll let them play this through, I guess. Guessing it's just a straightforward gay as well. Or I guess tendrils. Storm is plenty. Okay, so they're like looping beseeches. Guess well. Okay. I don't need to keep playing here. Actually, hang on. No, never mind. They can replay their mana rocks. They're fine. Yeah, let's just concede. All right, so I like the ley lines. I like the forces. I think that's probably it. I can't remember how I boarded in the first round, but I imagine I'll manage here, trim a little bit here and there, cut a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So we're on 22 blue cards still, which I think is fine. I mean, like theoretically, the ley lines have been relevant in all but one matchup, I believe. We've faced 2 painter decks, 2 storm decks. The first painter deck, the jig wasn't up for me. I didn't realize it was painter for sure, even though I talked a lot about Lightwalker being a painter player. But I don't know, not really. I guess I'll wait until after this match. But we never got to play against the scam deck, so we never got to test it there. I don't know. I mean, this doesn't have a ley line, but it's a pretty good hand. I'm gonna keep. Again, I should have boarded out the cavern. Yeah. Here the Undercity Sewers is a little bit potentially a little bit punishing, but I don't think I would want to lead on the fetch anyways to keep open Veil, so maybe that's okay. Okay. They are dumping out Storm here, so it's either like Galvanic Relay or it's just a full YOLO. Let's go. Whenever I play against Storm, I wouldn't say whenever, but sometimes when I play against Storm, I really miss it. It's such a lovely and awesome and sort of weird eternal magic centric sort of strategy. But then whenever I play it these days, I'm not, which isn't that often. So I mean, let's be fair, but I'm just not that amazed. Okay. Tell you what, I am gonna slow poke it here. Let's get rid of that. I think. Yeah, no, let's get rid of that. And we'll pass. We keep open Veil here, and also a Daze. Meanwhile, they got Brainstorm locked. Okay, let's pass. I think I Brainstorm here. There are 2 easy things to put away here: the Cavern and the Leyline. Let's pass. If we can hit a Ritual or a Petal, we win on the same turn with the Consider. So I will cycle a Veil here if they cast any blue or black spell, even just to cantrip and pass. Looks like they aren't doing that. All right, I'll fetch. I'll fetch Underground Sea here. Force of Negation. Guess I'll pass. Not really loving this, but I guess drawing the force is fine. So now we have double Veil, Force, and Daze. Potentially double Daze, but that would lose us the Consider. Well, they're paying cost for something here. But let's see. Okay, there's a Ponder. I guess we can't double Veil because I don't have access to 2 green. So choose not to shuffle. Found a land, and they're passing. It's not outside the realm of possibility that they could be a deck that has a white splash for Chant, but I really wouldn't expect it, but it's something to at least be aware of. Okay, let's cycle this. Draw a land or a Petal or Dark Ritual, anything. Do I just spew the Brainstorm here? If I get Brainstorm locked here without any mana source, I'm gonna be sad. Okay, we find a mana source. That's all good. I'll draw the second Doomsday. Okay, well, let's hope they don't have something like a Pyroblast or a Flusterstorm or a Surgical. And let's hope they don't look through our pile or our Exile Zone and discover the white ley lines. Alright, so need the Thassa. Gonna consider away Deep Analysis. Gonna draw LED. Gonna crack LED and draw 2 cards. It will be Thassa plus an Edge of Autumn. And then we will need a Lotus Petal as the last card. I guess I'll put Thassa on the bottom just in case they somehow like counter the or chant us with Deep Analysis on the stack. That wouldn't make sense. But or maybe it would make sense. Because then at least it doesn't get discarded from our hand on their next turn if they don't kill us. Okay, so Petal, Edge, and then LED, and then Deep Analysis on the top. Yeah, like this. This is where you Surgical. Okay, no Surgical. Now I lose my hand. Let's see if they have something. Like Dress Down. Some Ant lists used to play that, like as a sideboard slot. Ah, okay, they didn't have anything. Alright, final game of the final match of the league. Do I change anything? Yeah, I don't want the Cavern. What would be better than Cavern of Souls? Like maybe Personal Tutor number 2. Because like I think if once we resolve white leyline, then we just have to like find a Doomsday post haste to be able to close out the game before they manage to like set up Burning Wish. I don't even know if they play Burning Wish. I honestly don't know if their list can handle a white leyline. If they're boarding in, I guess like if they were looking through our Exile Zone and they saw the ley lines, they for sure will be boarding in like some kind of removal. So they keep 7. I'm gonna keep this. I mean, still no ley line, but I don't think this hand is like you're not throwing away double force days versus Storm. And we find a Doomsday. Okay. So the Personal Suitor can now just be pure pitch. I'm gonna like go for the Surveil here. Hopefully we don't get like Thought Seized. Oh, they have the Undercity Sewers. Fancy copy. Wow, that's beautiful. It even has like what little lights there, and they surveil away a Beseech. Interesting. Okay, we could daze this, but I'm not in the mood. They are passing, huh? No second land. So again, Brainstorm locked-ish. Alright, Undercity Sewers. Give me gold. Give me a Dark Ritual. Thassa's Oracle. Into the graveyard. Not worried about Surgical. Brainstorm. Yes, please. Okay, so let's put away a Leyline of Sanctity. And I think, honestly, I have to actually cast Personal Tutor now to shuffle. Is Deep Analysis the other thing to put away? I don't really think we want that in our hand. Yeah. So I am gonna... What do I get here? Do I just go for like a Ponder? I could also go for a Thoughtseize, but I think I'd actually rather put a Ponder up there. LED, sure. They imprinted an Echo of Eons in game 1, I think, on a Chromox, so it is an Echo deck. I think I daze this. And I think I actually pick up my Undercity Sewers and go for the Surveil next turn. That means I can't, like, if Ponder draws me a Dark Ritual, I blow it. Okay, so that was just dazed. Let's get this Surveil happening. Well, let's graveyard away this Consider. Yeah, I think this is shuffle. Well, this is the punishment of the leyline. Okay, they just immediately pass. Interesting. Okay, now we are a card closer, our mana source closer to casting Doomsday, and we can now hard cast the Force of Negation. It's only 2 forces in the same turn. It doesn't really change anything, I guess. I have 8 cards in hand. What will it be? Another LED. Yeah. That's not the fight. Blue card or mana to cast Doomsday, please. Well, that was mana to cast Doomsday. I don't think we we change any. I don't think we sit on this. There's always a risk of like Doomsday Pass versus Storm because they can get to like tendrils, but we do have a double force hand. Okay. So Thassa is down here. I was like, where are you, Thassa? But there she is. I guess Edge, Street Wraith, and maybe some Veils. Make them think we have Veil. We could also put like Deep Analysis if they think that like if they have sideboard tech versus. No, I don't know. I think I'm also maybe getting too clever for my own good here. Like we might want. Like if our deck gets shuffled, then having something like Veil. Actually, no, that's not true. Then the Veil is not the worst because we can like protect ourselves. Okay, so we draw Edge into Street Wraith into Thassa, and win. Is the plan. This loses to a Wasteland. Funnily enough, that would be quite shocking to see them. Or I guess like a Boseiju is actually not that unrealistic. If they have Boseiju, they got us here. They just Boseiju one of our blue producing lands, and that's all she wrote. Can the Storm opponent with 7 cards in hand and 2 LADs in play win? Feels like they have a Veil, and then they're sort of choked on that. Okay. Now they can play Veil if they have it. Dark Ritual. Okay. I think I force this, they Veil, I force that, and then we win. I mean, hopefully. This is it. Moment of truth. They're just passing. I think we may have gotten away with it. Did we do it? Yay! Alright. Alright. So, a 3-2 record, I mean, that's fine. I didn't get to play against any blue control decks or any Scaminator decks, which is kind of what I was most interested in. Also, I guess like Blood Moon decks or Stompy decks. I got to play against I Painter twice in various sort of iterations, and then 2 Storm decks. And I think I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of play to this league, and it was really interesting. But maybe in a bit of a niche kind of way. I would kind of like to take this out for another spin, and then try and see if I can run into some more middle of the road kind of matchups and see how the deck performs. I feel like, and obviously this is I guess normal that you focus more on your losses or whatever, but I feel like I was like my losses were it was pretty tight, huh? But I'm sure my wins were pretty tight as well. So not trying to like whitewash my performance or the deck's performance here, but like the loss to Lightwalker, the 8-cast Painter deck in round 1 felt pretty close. I mean, it was tight margins with those grindstone activations. He drew a second grindstone on like his first draw step after I just thought seized away 1. I mean, that's allowed. You're allowed to draw cards that you put in your deck, but it's a little bit aggravating. Yeah, I don't know. I feel the Cephalid Breakfast matchup is pretty close. I never feel particularly comfortable playing against that deck, but I get the impression that maybe that feeling is mutual. And I would have to go look, but I kind of suspect my record to be somewhat close to 50-50 there, but I could be wrong. And yeah, tell you what, I just 3-2'd, so that means you get a treasure chest. I'm going to actually open it right here while recording. Why not, huh? Let's see what we get. We get 5 play points, some Karn, I don't know. Living Legacy. Oh, he's cool, huh? I don't think he's worth a lot, but he's certainly cool. I'll have to go look it up. Preeminent Captain. I know that card. That was in the white sort of Soldier Stompy deck that was sort of floating around somewhere around Legacy a couple years ago. I don't know this one. Wolfbriar Elemental. Cool. All right. I think that nicely wraps things up. Thanks so much for watching. I will be back with some more Legacy. Bye-bye.